anything out yet. I just spoke with John Barris. He said there is a redacted copy of the police report that he has, and that he didn't receive any report from Officer Masso on the murder of my son. We still want the city officials held accountable for the multiple lies we've been told. We want to heal our community. We want us to come together as a community and city officials to make this right. So we're here to be as a family, all right, for our son. Here's my wife.
Officer Masso had already been involved in abusing an inmate in a prison where the New York Police Department was sued. And before they could even interview him about that, he had already left and uprooted himself and his family to be hired by the Oakland Police Department. And my question is, who did his background investigation? Because there's an intensive background investigation done. Maybe what I'm saying is not that important right now. Who did his background? Who left that he already had a red flag and he shouldn't have been in here serving our community? So my question is, who did his background? Who hired him? Who signed the final papers that it was okay for Miquel Masso, who already had red flags, to come and serve in our community? So that's a question that I'm asking you, and I would love for it to be answered. That is rewarded for getting guns off the streets of Oakland, but then he's reprimanded for something he did in New York for New York's police department. So that tells me by any means necessary, he'll cover up something that he's done.
Is someone sitting there trying to give you a time for you to answer you? Your time is up.
So I'm waiting for an answer from anyone. If anyone could answer, why would someone hire a police officer that already has red flags, that has already abused somebody? Does it, Mrs. Deanna Santana?
Constant. Tell him your time doesn't count when she's talking.
Can you tell me who's responsible for a leak? Did you leak it out that Alan's fingerprints were on the gun?
It came from the camera, it came from the paper.
So am I not speaking to Mrs. Deanna Santana right now?
You are, but she doesn't care.
She's not paying attention.
She ain't even listening.
Mrs. Deanna Santana!
President Reed, members of the council, under the Brown Act consent ordinances, there cannot be discussion on items that are not on the agenda.
Okay, thank you for answering, Mrs. Deanna Santana.
Yeah, this is the forum, by the way. So you're wrong.
You can let it leak out that you have Alan's fingerprints. I don't care if you got his butt prints on the gun. Until you can tell me where my cousin was at for 2.5 hours.
The death of Alan Blueford since his death during the early morning hours. This council has been aware of the death. This council has been aware of the death of Alan Blueford since his death during the early morning hours of May 6, 2012. President of this council, you are the councilman for District 7, where Alan was murdered. You were on the scene following his death. You You know firsthand the lies that were told regarding the circumstances surrounding this child's death. You too were told that Alan shot rampantly at the officer and that he shot Officer Masso. Today we have scientific evidence that proves that Alan never fired her. When people speak about the way Alan and the other two teenagers were stopped, they talk about racial profiling that led to stop and frisk. Chief Jordan has stated that his officers had reasonable suspicion to stop the teenagers because he thought he saw them pass drugs or a weapon between them. This is yet another $97 million budget set aside for can tell the difference between the passing of a bag of marijuana and a handgun. This reasonable suspicion to approach the three teenagers. They were racially profiled, which means they were stopped simply because they were three African American males.
Right.
But stop and frisk is not the discussion we should be our protesters.
Excuse me, ma'am, I'm sorry.
You were talking while you were talking.
I gave her my minute. She has another
My
minute.
time is this time. I still have the entirety of my time.
I gave her my minute. She has another minute.
You know, every one of you is in violation of your oath. Every one of you. You're in violation of your oath.
I'm going to give you 30 more seconds within your time.
No, I gave her a minute. I gave her a minute. She has a minute. She has a whole minute.
With their lights off and guns drawn, after the
Madam City Clerk, 5 minutes ahead of time.
Yeah, well, you all were talking while she was talking.
Summer, can you wrap it up, please?
No, she has more time than that.
He wouldn't be coming back if you didn't do your job.
what happened to Alan Blueford and the other? Conduct of that sort needs probable cause. That was not had. There was no probable cause in believing that Alan Blueford and the other teenagers actually committed a crime. So Councilman Larry Reed, what was done to help this family discover whether Alan Blueford was racially profiled immediately preceding his murder on May 6, 2012, and what have you done to stop such practices in Oakland?
Speak with it, black man. Answer the question. Come on. The question is over. Answer. We get another.
You care more about the process than a murdered kid.
Councilman Larry Reed, before my time expired, I have the opportunity to ask for
Other speakers who named your call, can you please step to the mic and speak?
No.
I'm
waiting for the answer.
To just please allow the other speakers to come to the mic and speak.
We're waiting.
Stand up and take a stand. When Martin Luther King was in jail in Birmingham, he wrote a letter and he said, when they say wait, and it's been 5 months of waiting, it almost always means never. And this city council ought to have put on its own agenda a discussion tonight of the leap that either its police department or its police chief, instead of the family having to come here and demand answers, you should be doing your job. Jane Bruner, you're a progressive. You've stood up for peace and justice. Nancy Nadell, progressive, you stood up for peace and justice. What are you people doing here today? How can you permit this meeting to go on? It is time to take a stand, otherwise you lose all legitimacy in the eyes of the people of Oakland. And I am sorry to say that you are going to go the way of politician after politician in history. This family is asking for answers, and I have a suspicion that to pull back the cover is because you know what answers you're going to find. That Miquel Masso murdered Alan Blueford in cold blood, and that you bring up a racist murder. It is time, City of Council, City of Oakland, to take a stand. If you do not do that, you aren't going to have any more city council meetings. We are not leaving here without being dragged out of here, and there's hundreds more behind us. There's hundreds more behind us, and then there will be thousands. There will be no business as usual in justice for Alan Blueford. No justice, no peace. 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 No peace. No peace.
Speakers who have been called are outside the room and have not been allowed in. This is a clear violation of the Brown Act. The fact that you have not filled these seats, the fact that you are not allowing the speakers who have signed cards to come in and speak, the fact that you have not allowed the galleries which you built to allow people to view the city council meeting is a direct violation of the Brown Act. And I would intend to sue the city council to void every single act you might do tonight unless you let those people in, unless you let the people speak, and unless you fill these galleries.
Expected to hear from us. You are dressing the wound of our people too lightly. Yes, city council business is important, but what we want you to hear is that city business, to some degree, is killing us. City business, business as usual in a police department that is off the hook, killed Alan Blueford.
That's right.
City business as usual is hurting countless people in communities of color in this city, and it's hurting the rest of us spiritually because we are complicit in lies, violence, brutality, and exploitation. Peace requires justice. Until you give us peace, there will be no justice. No justice, no peace.
No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace.
No justice, no peace. No peace. No justice, 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 no justice, no peace.
But I confer with the clerk to make sure.
So of the names that were called, the first was T. Maureen Wagner did not show. Wendy Snyder did not show. Dia Ozubala did not show. Macaulay Ozumi did not show. Mrs. Blueford was at the podium.
What have you done?
This guy's discussing the case.
To help this family obtain the truth surrounding the circumstances of Alan Blueford's death. What have you done? Well, let me remind you of what a lot of you promised to do. On May 15th, when we appeared in front of this council, many of you spoke as if you were going to actually act and assist this family in obtaining the truth surrounding the circumstances of Alan Blueford's death. Councilman Larry Reed, you have spoken to this family on a number of separate occasions, promising that you would do everything in your power to assist this family obtain the truth surrounding the death of Alan Dwayne Blueford. Like I said, you were at the scene at the time of Alan Dwayne Blueford's death. You were lied to also. You know exactly what the lies were. You know exactly the lies that were told surrounding my cousin's death. So I'm simply standing in front of you, president of this council, asking you, how have you fulfilled those promises? Councilwoman Bruner, you stated on May 15th, I think it is more important that the family learns about what happened than it is that we protect the information. Today, you are standing in solidarity with the rest of the council men and women protecting the information. You're standing to obstruct our access to truth, our access to justice. What have you done to fulfill those words? To fulfill your stance that it is more important for a mother and father to know what happened to their child than it is to protect that information. And you sit silent also. I heard some wonderful words spoke about you. Are you going to fulfill those words, or are you going to stand in solidarity with the rest of the councilmen and women? What have you done?
I am not permitted by the rules here to answer that question. I will come talk to you. But I don't want to break the rules.
In the spirit of transparency, I ask that you respond to this meeting. Councilwoman, excuse me, Leslie Brooks, you have repeatedly stated that you believe in public transparency. What have you done to help this family find out why they were treated the way that they were treated at the police department and in various other circumstances where they were given false information regarding Alan Blueford shooting Officer Masso? What have you done?
All right. That's 15 minutes.
It seems like what's happening here is incredibly illegal. It's certainly immoral, the fact that we're having some sort of a city council meeting where the residents of Oakland can't even participate. So,
stop holding your head
so
down.
I'm pretty disgusted about this. In particular, people like Rebecca Kaplan, okay, and Desi Brooks, who pretend to be our friends, and we go on with this sham of a meeting. And so we're going to have some sort of a democratic accountability out here when the people of Oakland are standing outside trying to get in, okay? So we need, this needs to stop. This can't continue. And you need to stop Oakland police officers from murdering young black men in Oakland. You need to hold them accountable. Every single one of you needs to be held accountable, okay? You should have never hired Miquel Masso in the first place. If you did your job, which you're not doing, he would have never been hired, and Alan Blueford would be alive today. Right. Whoever hired him should be fired as well. Whoever allowed him to hire him should be fired as well. The ex-Santana, who runs the police department, needs to be fired as well. You need to have some accountability here, and you need to let people inside of this city council meeting.
Hello. I'm Alan Blueford. I don't need the mic. I'm just going to say this. You all are here, city council run the city. You see why there is a separation between the community and the city officials. It's because you will not let us have a word. And you turn your back or put your heads down as if we don't matter. You all, if you don't have kids, then you're lucky, because you won't ever have to go and bury your kids. My son is gone. I'm standing here before you begging you 3 or 4 times, asking you for help. You told me you'd help me. You told me don't worry about it, give you a call, I come back. I don't have nothing. I don't have a police report, the summarized, a coroner's report. What mother wouldn't want to know what happened to their baby the night they died? What mother wouldn't want to know where the chain of custody to his body? They never called me. They never gave me an answer, and they're still not giving me an answer and want me to go away and shut up and not say anything. And when I get up to speak and look at you in your eyes, you can see the pain in my eye. My heart is broken, but you can put your head down and turn away from me and act like it don't matter. Alan is gone. He's not coming back. But he can't speak for himself. But I'm here to speak for him. And I want his report. I'm his mother. That's my right to know what happened to my child. Right. And not to just look away and turn your head down. This could be your son, your cousin, your nephew. This is my baby. And you're going to sit here and act like it's no big deal, like it doesn't matter, and divide the community
young
Stop
black
pushing
child.
us away. They had no right to stop him. And he's at home with his family, and my family is torn apart. And you act as if you don't care. How could you do that? That's spineless and gutless and hurtful. And then you say the community don't work with you. Why?
Because you don't work.
Look at how you show us that you care. Yo, 5 minutes is up. It was 2 minutes. She couldn't even talk.
Disrespectful. Please speak.
That's wrong. It's wrong. It's hurtful. It's not the way it should be. Please do something. Make a change. Make a change, please.
Call the next item. What kind of man are you? What kind of man are you?
You want to speak? The next item was called, it was actions on special orders.
Oh, you're not going to have a next item.
There is no next item.
No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no justice, no peace. 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 No justice, no justice, no justice, no justice, no justice, no
But you are here tonight, I believe, and I don't think that this is an appropriate way to be, but you're here tonight. You're here tonight because you want a place today that we can give you the answers. But that we need to lay out the procedure and lay out how the answers are going to be done. What's internal, if there's an outside investigation, I think the whole process.
No, you need to give us the answer.
I don't have the answer.
Somebody got the answer. Come on.
That is what I'm asking. So I suggest a procedure where everyone, just the Blueford family,
Bullshit.
knows how the
This isn't just the Blueford family.
I just said that. Not just the Blueford, not just the family, but everyone.
We don't tonight. What happened? Y'all folks went fine and dinner. Bring him to dinner. We gonna pay for his dinner when he come in here tonight and give up his time. He gets paid by us. Go ahead, let me speak. Y'all playing.
Every time. But a part of what we did in Oscar Grant was we changed policies and procedures so that no family would have to endure what the Grant family had to endure. So don't come every night and just and I'm not speaking about you or you, because I think what you're doing is correct. But don't just come and yes, that doesn't change anything. Come and work with us to change the policies and procedures so that and how it failed. So we need to look at that and see if it did and see. But if you allow these people
So my name is Benny Bryant, and I feel it's very disheartening to hear from the leadership on behalf of my aunt who came here over 5 months ago to ask for protocols. Okay, so 5 months ago we came and we asked for protocols, and at this particular time in the juncture, there's still no protocols on the table. I mean, now it's over 5 months and we still have not been able to receive a report. So in several ways we're calling upon leadership. Okay, we're calling upon leadership to extend out to a helping hand to allow us to come to a solution in regards to coming up with the demands that we request. And to say that at this particular juncture, now what can we do? Now we want to set an agenda. 5 months later, I think it's very disheartening to hear this come from the leadership. Now, on several cords, it's not a one person or one or two people that we're kind of pointing fingers at. We feel that all the council members should find a way to come together. In other cities where individuals were murdered by the police officers, so I greatly appreciate. So that's one. So this is a copy.
Take it. No, nobody from the family should take it. Somebody else. Here, take it.
So in some ways, so we appreciate the fact that you're stepping forward and providing us with some information to help us get closer to a better understanding. I mean, but however, we still feel that there's a need, an urgent need. There are kids who are impacted by what happened to Alan, and the kids in their community have this a negative view of how they look at Oakland Police Department's force, and to think that when Alan was murdered, the Oakland Police Department opened its doors to allow individuals to come and walk through. We want individuals to come out and meet with us, to talk with us about ways of changing protocols to ensure that things of this nature are not impacting our youth moving forward. Our youth are severely impacted by what's going on, not only in this meeting, but the lack of what I see as leadership to call forward this individual who made this, this atrocious act on our families, one of our family members. So I think that in several ways, answers need to come not 2 months from now. I mean, we need to be able to have an idea of what actually happened. To say 5 months from now a mother and father does not have an idea of the circumstances that were behind the death of their child, I think is something that not only harms the community, it harms the relationships that are trying to be bridged between the community and the leadership. So finding a way to come together, not for one individual to step up and say, hey, this is what we want to do. We feel the need to sit down with all individuals to collectively come up with a solution. And also understanding that we collectively stand with the individuals who are behind us, supporting us. For over 5 months, they've been here with us, helping us along the way to stay united and to stay on a united front, moving forward towards finding a bridge. I mean, we're not sitting here to try to point fingers about who's not doing their job. We want change, and we want change now. And to think that even after Alan's death, there were other murders by police officers, and in many ways, nothing's been happening. We have no idea what's going on with Officer Masso. If I were to go out and murder someone, immediately there will be some consequences. And however, the family feels at this particular point in time, there have been no appropriate actions taken upon the individual who pulled the trigger. I mean, he shot himself and he shot 3 times a youth who's on his way towards a high school graduation, who no longer has an opportunity to move forward in his life. And I think, but not only that, but to think about the lives of the children who were surrounding this kid and how they look at the Oakland Police Department's force moving forward is a critical issue that needs to be addressed immediately, not to bring a piece of paper and say, oh, okay, here you have it. Yes, okay, I greatly appreciate that, but how do we make change and how do we bring forth understanding for the family? But to have 5 months to not know how your child was dead, killed and murdered, in 5 months? I mean, how much time do we need? And we're asking, and there's been some words being sent by the city administrator about how if more time will be requested, that they'll grant more time. And that's something that I think does not or cannot happen moving forward. 5 months is more than enough time to come up with an idea of what's going on in this investigation, and we demand answers now.
All we want is a copy
copy of the protocol that is required by the Oakland Police Department. You can't tell us, I've been online, I've been searching, I've been asking, can you provide the family with the protocol?
Custody, and we will handle that as a public records act request and get that information. So he will have all of the information so that we can make sure that we can respond to the request.
No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace.
Despite the farce that is happening behind us, we know that we are the real business of the City of Oakland. We will be back with the Blueford family every City Council meeting until Miquel Masso is fired, until he is prosecuted, until Chief Jordan is disciplined, until the people who leaked the false accounts of Alan to the press are fired. We are going to leave together behind the Blueford family and join the hundreds of people outside. We'll be back.